Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of the Universus Academy podcast. I am your host, John Jennings, and with me, as always, is my co-host Ryan Kraft and Matt Childress. How are you doing, fellas?
We're good, man. How's it going?
Going
Yeah,
good,
doing
Matt.
well.
Nice,
Doing well,
nice.
man.
Well, we're coming to you with a special edition of the pod, real quick. Last night on Wednesday was the first web weekly webcam Wednesday event, which is their online tournament, which is a webcam. I probably messed up the title.
Weekly Wednesday. Weekly
Yeah,
webcam Wednesdays.
yeah.
Weekly webcam Wednesdays. There you go.
Weekly webcam Wednesdays. Last night was the first one. There we go.
Say that 3 times
After
fast.
no, I will not. After the second round, we got a huge announcement regarding the major OP for this coming year, in Worlds. And Ryan,
We
I
got
believe you have the video queued.
Yep, I'm going to go ahead and play the video real quick, so we'll talk
Uh,
about it a little bit when we get back, all right?
Alright.
All right, how about that? $250,000 prize pool.
Yeah, that was that definitely caught some attention last night in the Twitch stream. I know you guys were playing. I watched some of Aspira's stream, and it's kind of funny. I stepped away because I was like doing random chores or whatever, and then I came back and I opened Twitch back up, and I don't have like a Twitch Prime account or whatever, so it makes me sit through an ad whenever when I pull something up. And so I sat through the ad, and I was like, ugh, whatever. I set my phone down, and then it's like a 30-second ad, and then I happened to come right back in right as the announcement started, and there was no Spear, like, so I don't know if he like introed it or what, but like the Twitch ad ended, and then that immediately played. I was like, what? I got another ad? What the hell? And then I was like, oh no, this is some kind of announcement.
Womp womp.
Yeah, so, I mean, they broke a lot of things down there, right? So a 32-player
Mhm.
world event with a last chance qualifier at the event, and a Pro Hero MVP, which I think Aspira kind of said would have to do with your how you've done during the year, your integrity, community building kind of stuff. So it sounds like there'll
Mhm.
be other ways to get in other than just topping events. But I did ask in the chat, and they said that you're getting paid all the way down to 32nd place if you get invited to this tournament. So
Mhm.
these are exciting times, man. Like, we've never seen this much money in a Jasco event, obviously. So it's a whole new era, man.
Yeah, and of course they didn't give us the full breakdown of what the cash payout will be. 1 to 32. We can speculate wildly, and we probably will on future episodes. Just as we think about it more, let it sink in, let it marinate a little bit, and try to do some math. Well, not me. I'm real bad at math. I'll leave that to these two. But
Right. Don't think about the game being math.
yeah, no. It's just, look. I was an English major, man. It's all words.
Yeah, you're real good with the text box. Everything else out of that, not so much.
That's a lie too.
Um, yeah, I mean, like the world tournament being invite only is really interesting. Like it is a very new approach to their world tournament. Like historically, Jasco has been very big on the anyone can show up and anyone can play in any event kind of thing. But they also haven't had cash on the line. Before, you would just win a character card or be able to make your own card depending on the format. That's the other thing they didn't talk about is they've only talked about assuming this is all singles. Like there's been no talk about any other methods of play, as far as like a teams environment or any variant thereof. So yeah, I mean, like the 250K is exciting. I will be interested to see what happens. I do have my apprehensions about it, though. I'm not gonna lie, because I think when you put money like that on the line, um, you sometimes attract a different type of player. And one thing that's really great about this card game is its community. And it's always been a very, um, I'd say, non-toxic community. Like it's a
Hmm.
very honest kind of, I don't want to say necessarily virtuous, but at the same time, like friendly, kind of like extended family kind of community. And I think injecting that much money might attract some other people who are just there to try to win money as opposed to the other. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I'll just be interested to see how it plays out.
Yeah, so I guess like on your first point, it looks like they're holding two nationals this year,
Hmm.
like the Discord national and the in-state one. So I guess that's how they're offsetting that Worlds is going to be invite only, right? You still get two majors you can play in theoretically,
Yeah.
instead of just the
Uh,
one.
yeah.
Well, isn't
And
one of those international though?
I was gonna
Like that's
say
the whole idea,
the Discord event is technically the international nationals, so
right?
The
we don't
internationals.
the internationals, as I claim to be the word person.
Hmm.
The international event. We don't know if it's going to be international players only, or if like we in the states can just log on and play in it too.
Yeah,
I mean, I presumably so because in the past, I mean, foreign players could come to the U.S. Nationals event and play in it if they wanted to. They just had to
right.
Right.
come and they just had to get here.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, go ahead, Ryan.
I was just gonna say, I would assume that everyone will be able to play in every event, but
Hmm.
I mean, I guess you never know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a safe assumption. The big thing is right now, international still doesn't have cards. Um,
Yeah,
Hmm.
like the UK in particular, I know doesn't have cards yet. So like I imagine what's going to happen is they're staggering those two and they're making that event separate. So that way, once they do get their stuff, they're able to actually play and compete. Because otherwise, they just miss out on that, right? Like they can't travel to America and play in the in states one like they normally would. Like I
Yeah.
mean, we've had people come from other countries and top, if not win, events here locally. Like major events before. So um, yeah, I mean, I think that's part of the reasoning they do that on Discord in particular. And I think that's also part of the reason why anyone will be able to play if they want to play. Um, and then they'll kind of go from there. So yeah, I mean, but Ryan, to your point, like an invite only or like an exclusive tournament, even though there still may be two majors you can play in, like two, largest level competitions, it's still kind of a unique thing. Like it'll be a little different. And I don't know, I'll be interested to see how it plays out. Like I think it's a cool idea. Like legitimately think it's a cool idea. Like the idea, it's kind of like taking player of the year, which is what they've done in the
hmm
past, where basically you earned points for playing and doing well in PTCs and other larger tournaments like Nats and Worlds and things like that. And then at the end of the year, they would tally up the number of points, and that person got a reward and they got acknowledged as the player of the year and stuff. Um,
Cool.
and it was always really fun from the community standpoint to try to watch that and see who was going to win. And now they're kind of just incorporating that directly into going to Worlds, like, so I'll be interested to see how the points breakdowns work, like you
right.
earn some at locals and you earn some at, your next level up stuff. And the cool thing is a lot of these events are online. So like even if you can't travel, like you can play in the ones online and you might still be able to earn enough points depending on how you do and how many points are required to go to the world tournament. And didn't they say like that tournament's going to be all expenses paid also for those 32 people?
So I definitely questioned them on that because that is what Aspire said. I was like,
Mhm.
so all expenses paid. So you're saying flight, hotel, meals, like all the works. And
Yeah.
he was like, let me double check. I definitely said that, but it might just be like flights. So I don't think they have that ironed out yet because that was one thing I did ask in the Twitch chat
Yeah.
last night.
Okay. If I were guessing, I would imagine your flight's the only thing they don't cover. And like it's the once you're here, like you get here and we'll cover everything else once you're here. Like that's what I
Yeah.
would do if I was them. Because one, you can get like a block rate in a hotel and it's in Vegas, so hotels aren't expensive, but the food and stuff is. So them covering your food would be a big deal.
I
Yeah.
mean, if they got money to drop 250K on a prize pool, I feel like they could fly 32 people out to Vegas. You know what I
I
mean?
Just another
I
prize
mean,
pool.
maybe. I mean, flights to Vegas aren't exactly expensive. It's kind of
Right.
like it's like they want to get you there. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
flying to Orlando. Flying to Orlando is pretty cheap too because they just want to. You just got to get there and then they get the
Go to
money. Then
Orlando.
they got the hooks in you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you're gonna be flying in the bottom of the plane, maybe, but
The luggage. Below
so
the coach.
I'm interested to see. It seems like they're kind of like taking the almost like the Magic structure of OP, where they have
Hmm.
like PTCs, like Pro Tour qualifier or PTQs, and then Pro Tour events, and then like Worlds is invite only, and Magic the Gathering as well, with a big cash prize pool at the end. I guess this is probably a product of the OP company they hired to run their OP events, right? And maybe even the new guy, the Frank DeBrito, they brought in to run OP internally. I mean, I imagine this all stems from that, right?
I think it's just a product of the game being hot and like
Yeah.
selling like wildfire, to be honest. Like, and it might, you might be right. Like, it might be behind the scenes. They worked out some sort of negotiation or whatever. Like, hey, we're going to do this. But like, I think they probably just have cranked out a whole lot of money. Like, think about it. This game's been selling like hotcakes. I mean, as far as we can tell, the secondary market seems flooded with extras because people just bought so many boxes getting XRs and whatever else. And I mean, we had 100+ people for the first online webcam event.
Right.
By comparison, historically for Jasco, 100 people is like a little over that would be what you get for like a Nats.
Yeah.
And they had that on a random Wednesday. So all things considered, they probably just have a lot of extra money sitting around, capital sitting around that they might be able to throw at this. And I think they want to make sure they do it right. Like they want to make sure that people who have bought in, who want to play competitively, don't go to another card game to play competitively.
Right.
So to your point of the comparison with Magic, like I think that's a great comparison. And that way, yeah, that works for Magic. They do a good job with it. I know one thing I've heard people already kind of complaining about, talking about organized play, is the exclusive promos at the different tiers of tournaments and stuff. And from what I can tell, and again, this is just reading the announcements that they've made, it seems like basically there's just a set of tournament promos.
Right.
And that's what we see, like Midnight and the cost of peace or whatever it is, the action. And then Kirigiri, I believe, is in that as well. Now they showed him.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's like 8 cards, sort of like plus ultra type thing, but fewer cards maybe. And it's just from going to those larger tournaments. So not your weekly level tournaments.
So that's like the
but
showdowns and up, right? Like showdown.
Correct. Yeah. Literally
The
like the
regional
next step
licensing
up.
things and
then national
Regional
those are-
licensing and then the provisional and all that sort of stuff. So like you're gonna get those. And there's nothing saying you're only gonna get one when you go. Like I can tell you historically what Jasco does is like after each round you would get a pack or you'd get a promo or something. So like you may go to one of these events and you play 8 rounds, you walk away with 8 packs. Like that's theoretically possible. So like people were freaking out right now about like plus ultra cards and the prices of them and stuff. Like, yeah, that's just scarcity. These things have been out not even a month yet. And even
Right.
further, most stores didn't do the shady thing of just selling the kits and cracking them open and selling the cards online. Most stores are giving them out the way they're supposed to. I know our store is. We have our first event this week. Super excited about that. Gonna get some promos. Yay! Like
yeah.
But I don't know. Like I think it's gonna be fine. Like there's nothing saying you have to have all those promos. But even if you
Instantly.
do, because you're that competitive person and you want to have all of them, like myself,
Right.
then you're going to be able to get your hands on them. Like I don't think they're going to be like $30 plus cards the entire time. It's just right now no one has them, so people want to get while the getting's good.
Yep. And also to your point of like going to these larger tournaments and getting those promos like the Midnight, like the Price of Peace and Kirigiri. That's also what you want to do if you're trying to get into Worlds, because you've got to get those reps in and get those. They haven't officially said how you got to get into Worlds, but I imagine it's going to be some combination of going to these larger tournaments and doing well, and advancing to like top cuts, like making a top 8 or winning the event. Get
Right.
you,
Well, they
X
have
number
said
of
that
points.
winning the event gets you
Yeah.
a buy at basically the next level of the event.
Yes.
And then I'm sure Nats just gets you into Worlds like we were talking about, as opposed to getting you a buy at Worlds. Like I don't think you're doing a buy with 32 people in a tournament.
No, I don't think so. But yeah, so if you're worried about getting those cards and those promos, make sure you're going to those events anyway, because you're going to get those promos and you're going to get yourself one step closer to Worlds or Nationals or something like that. I assume Nationals will be show up and play, but the
Yeah, it
Worlds,
is,
as
I'm
I
sure.
said, will just be kind of like the invite thing.
And to your point, like, all right, if some of them are characters, like we've seen 2 characters in that so far, you don't need more than one copy of it. So when someone cracks it open, they're just going to be willing to let it go. Like they're going to trade it off to you for probably a few bucks, maybe, or just a rare or something. Like, I don't know. I don't think the promos are going to be the problem. Like, I was very much so, and these guys can tell you, I was not for this idea of quirk packs in the boxes and all. I was like, this is awful. This seems predatory. Ended up not being an issue at all. Now, granted, I bought a fair amount of set 1, but even if I didn't, in the secondary market right now, like those cards are like sub $5 a piece. That is nothing.
Amphibious Assault, I think, is the most expensive one. I only know this because I was looking them up earlier because I need to buy a couple of Villains Defeated. And Villains Defeated was like $1.50.
Yeah, it's a great
Capture
card.
Evildoers is like $2 to $3 a piece. Amphibious
Super
Assault
great card.
was almost $6. It was the most expensive.
Yeah. So like point being, like you can get these cards and they're all like sub $10 then. Okay. Like not a big deal. Like I don't know.
Yeah, for the price of one pack, you can get a couple of them or one of them or something, right?
Right.
Right. And I guess like the other thing is if you're actually buying product, you can always get them on redemption down the line as well. They've said whenever they
get
refresh
redemption
redemption.
off, who knows what all will be on there? Most likely be those quirk pack cards, and then maybe some other harder to get, things or more scarce cards. Not necessarily hard to get, but just things that you might not have gotten easily.
Yeah, but more importantly, if you're buying the promos directly instead of just buying packs, you're not going to get your 20th Gale Force Punch. So
Yeah,
that's true.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess that's all we really wanted to chat about today was go over this big $250,000 tournament, talk about how we're gonna win all that money.
So
But
who's gonna first, second, third? What's our breakdown here, guys?
we're splitting it. That's
I got
fine.
a mortgage, a car payment, and a baby.
He's motivated, is what I heard.
He is motivated. It's a shame he's not gonna have time to get any reps in while taking care of that car and
Because
baby.
he has a mortgage.
Take care of the car first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, good stuff.
No, that's fine, man. I'll just play online, do these webcam events and grind it out that way.
Yeah. I'm really,
cool.
like I said, I'm looking forward to finding out more details about it. It's very exciting. And I think that if you were on the fence about the game and you weren't sure if they were going to be behind organized play and all, I feel like you can kind of put that to rest now. Like
Yeah.
even the event last night went as smoothly as you could expect a 100-person webcam event for the first week to go.
Right.
Like it's a little clunky. It took a little bit getting used to, but it wasn't like this awful experience. And I'll be honest, I had my apprehension. I was like, I really don't feel great about this, but I'm going to play anyway because I want to play and I want to see how this goes. And it was. I'm planning on playing in more. Like it was good.
Yeah. And when the podcast comes out on Tuesday, we'll probably talk more in depth about our experiences with that. But
Absolutely.
I guess for the night, unless you guys have anything else, hey man, get to repping, get to practicing to win this money, and we'll see you next week.
See you
Sounds
guys.
good. Thanks for stopping by, guys.
Later.